Welcome to Greatest Golfer. I'm Greatest Guru Todd Franco. Glad to have you on this cold, chilly February day. It's not really golf outside, but it's always golf on our mind here at Greatest. And pleased to welcome longtime fan of Greatest, Mr. Andrew Mangano. How are you, pal?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how are you coping with the cold?
Not very well. Again, I am flying out tomorrow. I've been trying to get out of here as much as possible.
Now, you're not necessarily against the cold, being the retired or recovering ski bum that you are.
No, I'm not. It's just, I don't ski anymore. And so golf, I traded skiing for golf. I don't want to say I'm against winter. I do like winter, but I just don't have any activities for it anymore. I used to ski, I used to cross country ski, I used to walk in the snow, I used to do all of that stuff. And now all I want to do is get out of it
Get in the warm
as
weather.
far away from it as possible.
When you are golfing, how's your golf game?
It's not bad. It's been pretty good. I had a decent year. I got back down to a single
Define
digit.
define decent for me.
I went from like a 12 down to a 9 handicap. I spent most of the season, especially the end of the season, as a single digit for a while, and then I crept back up. But that's pretty good for me.
What's the lowest your handicap has ever been?
I was a 7 for about 3 months, about 6 years ago. It was just a really good month,
And then
and then
you
it never
realized it was,
reappeared again.
and did you realize that that seven was costing you a ton of money at the gambling table?
Well, you win a bunch going there, and then you and then you get killed. Yeah, I'm usually somewhere between like 9 and 13. It's probably attitude dependent.
Attitude.
Yeah.
I can see that with you. You have one of the more colorful attitudes around golf. You're a numbers guy. You're a money guy. We'll get into that in a minute. But you're also given that you're a big believer that money has to be involved in golf. How long have you been gambling in golf?
Since the second round I played.
Can you golf without gambling, or you absolutely have to have action going?
Uh no, I can't do it. I mean, I can do it, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
I won't putt out. I'll take phone calls. Yeah, I've tried. I can't. I don't even like to play in outings.
What's
You
your
know,
favorite
the,
gambling game?
the degenerates that brought me into the game play. I play what they always played. So we play this money in the middle, first, second, and third place, and then you have to bet everybody you're playing with. And they ground this into my head, in the first year that I played. And so at first, I remember because I used to, I wouldn't get upset with them, but I'd be like, why can't we just, be friends and play? And then, I tried, and I was like, oh, I don't like this at all. There's no point in even being out here.
So, is there a certain golfer that maybe the crowd might know whose money you just love taking?
Oh yeah,
Joey,
there's
Joey
a couple of
Salone,
them.
Joey Salone, Jonah Carsmere.
Absolutely. Joey's money is fantastic to take. Jonah's is, he doesn't play as much as he used to, but his was a favorite. But Gina's money, I absolutely am addicted to.
Gino from cigar fame. Who do you hate having to pay out to? Just
Murph.
because they're swagger, they're whatever.
Murph.
You hate paying out Murph?
Oh God,
Brian
yeah.
Myers?
He's the worst.
Why is that?
He just that look on his face. He knows he does. If you know Murph, he just sits there with that little grin on his face. You just want to throw the money at him. When you go on a bad streak, they smell blood in that game, and
Really?
they'll put your foot on their neck. They love, and it's the same for everybody. Everyone's that way. So,
Such a
uh,
gentleman's game, and it
yeah.
gets so ungentlemanly. Sweeps just baffle me.
So that keeps a lot of guys out of our game. Not the hole in one so much because it's pretty rare, but the sweeps. So in nines, if you play, it's when you're playing with a threesome. If you beat everybody in there by two
Two
strokes, by net
strokes.
two, you get all 9 points. And, so that's $90 per person coming your way with the other two guys. So nines keeps a lot of people out of our game. I
Are
mean, it's
you a
very,
big believer that if you're playing enough and you're staying steady enough, it's going to equal out at the end of the year?
it does equal out. I mean, there was years where a bunch of us tracked it. We track the bets, we track the money just to kind of see. And
Yeah.
at the end of the year, you either win a couple $100 or you lose a couple $100, but you are betting a lot of money. So if that gets under your skin and it affects your performance, you can get murdered.
What do you like about golf besides the gambling?
Being outside. I
Yeah.
mean, even as I was, I mean, I love being outside. I still love being outside. I walk every morning in the Poland woods. I just like being out. So it's somewhat exercise. It's very social, and you're outside for 5 hours.
What about golf drives you nuts?
I don't think I could fix what drives me nuts. I don't think it matters how much you play or practice. There is a limit to how good you can get. I mean, I spent 10 years out there on the range and lessons and playing, and nothing changed.
How does golf lead into a good business life for you? Talk about work in New York life.
So when I first came back, I'd been gone from the area for so long that I really didn't know anybody. I had a couple friends from high school, but I had no network. So in joining the club, and when I joined the club, it was, I don't know, 2006 or something like that, maybe 2005. There was only like 150 or 200 members max. It was still Fond du Lac back then. So I got to meet you knew every single person. Every member knew every member. It was really a smaller place. So that helped me to build a base for my business, help me meet people, help me introduce myself to people, talk to people. Other than what it did for me in the beginning, it's still very much part of the business. I think it always will be, but not so much now as it used to be. The business is fairly established now. My dad's had it forever.
I was going to
Um,
get to that. It's family business.
yeah, my dad started it in 1979, and then I came in 2007.
After you retired from the ski slopes, you
Yes,
ex you
yes.
extended your college life much longer than anybody else would have.
I did. Most people say I retired first. But, when you learn to play golf, I was a pretty high strung person. I still am somewhat a high strung person. And golf, does teach you to, I don't want to say it teaches you to master your emotions, but it certainly helps. There's so many highs and lows in golf that it really teaches you to kind of not react so quickly to those highs and lows. And I think that's important in business. You need that. You learn to you just become softer on the edges. Not everything, not every little comment or nick, upsets you. You're just not affected by it. And again, you need that in business too. You need to, you need to have thick skin.
And on that note, the last year or so with the financial markets has needed some thick skin up and down, just whatever the president's going to come out with on a Monday morning. Brace for the next 6 hours in the market. How have you adapted? How have you adjusted? And how do you work with your clients? And what do you see your clients doing in this unique era?
As long as the ports are full, the trucks are running, and the trains are full, then the economy is probably okay. It may not be doing the best it's ever done, but it's certainly not doing bad.
One of your investments that I'd love to talk about is your investment in Greatest Golfer.
Okay.
I'm very appreciative of that. What got you interested in the program? Why do you stay with it?
Well, I think I played in it one year first and saw what you were doing, saw how the community reacted to it. And I just thought it was awesome seeing all those kids, for kids to all the way up to 80-year-olds, playing in this thing. You're at Mill Creek Park, especially in the beginning. It was, there's 500 people there, and everybody was excited, and it was just such an awesome thing for the community. I think it was just an amazing event. And then you got the country clubs involved, and those people would get out to go, maybe that aren't fortunate enough to be able to play at the Lake Club or play at Avalon or play at one of these nicer golf courses. um, I just thought that was a very awesome thing, especially for the kids and really for anyone. So I just wanted to support it. I wanted to support you and what you were doing. I was watching it grow. I thought the event was awesome. I had a really good time playing in it. Um, so I just, I said, this is something I can get behind. It's real competitive golf, and you don't often get a chance to play that. You never get a chance to play it against, people that you don't normally play with, on a course that you maybe don't normally play. It's an awesome event. It's fantastic. I do enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, you have been a model sponsor with just your loyalty with us, and again, you've got a little swagger, grind. grimace about your golf sometimes, and to bump into you talk about greatest, and that smile comes out like it just did. It's always cool to know that you can get Andrew cheery some days, and it's awesome to if you bring up greatest, it's always a smile. What keeps you in the valley? What's greatest about the valley for you?
I've lived a lot of places, and everyone asks why I came back. I've lived in some beautiful places. I lived in Lake Tahoe. I lived in Colorado. I lived in Utah. I was in Lake Tahoe for a really long time. You start to, I think there comes a point in your life where you start to define what home is, and this was home for me. And then I think once you get here and if you treat it well, if you don't bag on it, if you try to find what's good about it, I think the most interesting people in the world live right here in this valley. I just didn't feel like that happened in other places. And this place just kept drawing me back. So when I got back here and I started to remember what was so awesome, what I loved about this area, the people, the places, it's really a beautiful place.
Now, one good thing about your living back here is also your choice of neighborhood and your neighbors.
Yeah.
Who is your greatest neighbor?
Well, I think you're probably my greatest neighbor. But no, we've got this neighborhood is fantastic. Um, I grew up with friends in this neighborhood. I knew the Ratliffs and the James and the Kushners and all that. So when I came back, if I could get a house in this neighborhood, I kind of always wanted to live here. It's just, you know, everybody in this neighborhood, it's just a really good neighborhood. It's a fun neighborhood. It is.
And you've established your residence as something that people keep their eyes on. There's always something unique, and of course, your decision with your lawn is your latest. After the renovation several years ago, the trees, the landscaping, the evolution of the lawn. Talk about your pursuit of this lawn. What is it, and what do you hope for it?
Well, I'm trying to have a fairway. I'm trying to turn my lawn into a fairway, which I don't know why I go down these rabbit holes. Like, one day I'm on Google reading about grass seed and this stuff. And
But your ambition is not to play golf on your lawn. You just want that look.
no, I don't even want people to walk on
Yeah.
it. I wanted to see if I could do it. I'm trying to change the composition of the soil. I'm trying to get the chemicals right. We're trying to get the drainage right. We're trying to get the right seed in, just to see if it's even possible. And I think that's one thing that maybe people don't understand. Yes, golf is expensive. And you look at a place like the Lake Club. I was there before Ed bought it, and I've seen what he's been able to, it takes so much time, effort, and money to get a golf course to look like that, to get grass to look like that. Everyone thinks that it's simple and the game should be, I wish the game was super affordable, but once you try to, not, you think of Ed's got about 150, 180 acres. I've got 3/4 of an acre and half of that is a house, right? So I'm just trying to do it on this small part of land, and it takes all of my time. With soil samples, testing. I mean, certain grass grows on that side of the house that won't grow on this side of the house. And the only way to find that out is to plant it and see, and then watch it die. I mean, I just don't understand why it can't be done. So I'm going to do it until I figure it out, and then I'll probably stop and find something else to
And
do.
and there is our neighborhood spectacle. Well, I'm glad you're in the neighborhood. Glad you're in golf. Glad you're in greatest golfer. And definitely glad that you're back in the valley and that you retired from your ski career.
Well, I appreciate that. I am glad to be a part of it. I love what you do. I love the event. I love following it. On Sunday when you go, you've turned it into a party now at the Lake Club on Sunday, which I think is really cool. And to see all those people there, I think it's just it's awesome thing that you do for the community.
Well, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it, pal. Talk soon.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.